Chapter 4 The House Among the Trees.
Mason and I agreed to meet after sunset. He didn't tell his parents where he was going. I didn't either. My mom wouldn't have listened. We both knew this was crazy, but after that last note, bring a friend, it felt like we didn't have a choice. We walked into the woods with flashlights and backpacks stuffed with random gear: a compass, rope, water bottles, sandwiches, and my pocket knife. Mason brought a baseball bat. He said it was just in case.
Iditzt ague.
The trees seemed closer together than before.
The folk lay low, thick like cotton.
And almost immediately, once we crossed into the tree line, I heard the music.
That it? Mason asked. I nodded. Yeah. It was a same sound. Broken Calliope music, like Somione turning a rusted music box too slowly.
Every so often between the notes, something echoed, either laughter or weeping.
Maybe both.
We followed the trail until it vanished. Wait, Mason said, stopping.
Look.
Ahead of us, barely visible through the mist, stood something strange, a house. An old wooden cabin, tangled in vines, its roof slumped like it was tired. The windows were boarded up. Faded balloons hung in shreds from a sagging porch rail. What is this, a circus?
He whispered.
Or what's left of one, I said.
Wie crept closer.
On the door was a scrap of paper nailed with a rusted tack. Scrawled in black charcoal were the words:
To play, knock 3 times.
Mason looked at me. Are we really doing this? They'll find us anyway, I said. Might as well meet them on our terms. He grimaced but nodded.
Knock. Knock. Knock.
The door creaked open on its own, groaning inward. Inside, the darkness felt thick, like someone had painted the air black.
We stepped in. The house was
unnaturally quiet.
No dust.
Childlike drawings lined the walls, just like the ones I'd been finding.
In the corner stood a mirror, cracked Drehtrug.
On the floor were dolls mutilated, eyes poked out, limbs twisted backward. And then I saw it. In the corner, sitting on a wooden chair, was a clown doll. But it was too big to be a toy. Its eyes were glassy but felt alive. Its mouth was stretched into a wide wooden smile.
It moved. Mason screamed.
Laughter filled the room, high-pitched, unnatural, coming from the ceiling.
Then the floorboards creaked.
Figures started crawling out from beneath the floor.
Clowns. Small. Tall. Bald. Painted. One held a concertina.
But none of them looked dead. Or maybe they looked too alive.
We backed up.
The clown on the chair stood up.
And said, Let the game begin.
Chapter 5, The First Rule. The moment the clown spoke, the room changed.
The laughter stopped.
The fog that had drifted in through the open door thickened, curling around our ankles like smoke. Mason gripped his bat tighter. I didn't realize I was holding my breath until the clown doll pointed a long, jointed finger at us and said,
Rule won, no leaving until the game is over. Ador slemmt behintu es. So hart the Walz schuk.
Mason spun around and tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. There was no lock.
No handle. Just smot, cold wood.
We need to get out of here, Mason hissed.
I think that's the point, I said.
We're not supposed to. The other clowns stood in silence. Not one of them moved, but their painted eyes followed us. I took a step forward, and one of them twitched, a spasm, like a puppet pulled by invisible strings. Then the lead clown, the one from the chair, clapped its hands once.
The walls shifted. No, melted.
Like the entire house had been painted on, and now someone was peeling the canvas away. The drawings bled down the walls.
The dolls fell trug the floor. And suddenly, wie während in the cabine animore.
We were in a hallway. Narrow.
Endless. Lined with doors.
Each door had a balloon tied to its knob. Each balloon was a different color. And each door had a single word carved into it.
Truth. Fear. Time. Pain. Lost.
The clown appeared behind us again.
No footsteps. No warning.
It raised its hand and pointed at the doors.
Choose. My voice shook. Choose what? The clown's head tilted.
Its smile stretched unnaturally wide. Only one leads forward. Mason grabbed my arm.
We shouldn't.
Pick. The clown's voice dropped into a guttural growl.
We looked at each door.
I tried to listen to something, anything, that might guide us. But the hallway was dead silent.
Then I saw it.
A small note taped to the floor near the fear door.
I knelt down and read it.
The brave walk through fear to find the truth.
I stood up. This one.
Mason shook his head.
You sure? No, I said.
But I think it wants us to be afraid.
He took a deep breath. Okay. Together.
We turned the handle. The door opened into blackness. And we stepped through.
Chapter 6. Wat vier Fiets on.
The door slammed shut behind us. Gone was the hallway.
Gone were the clowns.
We were standing in a field. But not the kind from postcards or storybooks. This one was silent.
Too silent.
The grass was tall and dry, rustling slightly even though there was no wind. Above us, the sky pulsed a sickly green, like something was wrong with the air itself.
In the distance, a carousel turned.
Lights blinked erratically. The music playing was warped, like it had been underwater too long. As we got closer, I realized there were no horses on the carousel.
No animals et al. Just shapes. Human shapes. Motionless. Tied to the poles. Mason stopped. We should turn back.
There is no back, I said, glancing behind us.
The door we came trug? Gone. Only more field. He cursed under his breath. We moved forward, toward the carousel. The music grew louder, spinning in broken loops.
The closer we got, the colder it became. Then the carousel stopped. The lights went out. And one of the figures moved.
A girl. In striped pajamas. Clara. My chest tightened.
She slowly raised her head, eyes wide and blank. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out, just a long dry gasp like wind through bones.
Clara? I whispered. She didn't respond.
Her gaze passed through me, then fixed on Mason.
And then she screamed. It was an inhuman sound.
A high, shattering shriek that made my ears ring and my vision blur. Other figures on the carousel began to twitch.
One by one, they turned toward us.
All of them with pale faces, stretched grins, and empty yellow eyes.
They leapt. We ran.
Grass clawed at our legs.
The sky up over flickered like a dying light bulb.
The sound of footsteps, not ours, pounded behind us. Laughter echoed from every direction. Then I saw it, a shack in the middle of the field.
Falling apart. Barely standing. But it had a door.
We dove inside and slammed it shut. The sound stopped instantly. We were in total darkness.
Mason wheezed. What?
What was that? I think that's what fear looks like here, I said, voice shaking. They show you what you're most afraid of.
He stared at me.
That wasn't just fear. That was your sister.
I know.
I reached into my pocket and felt something new, another note.
I didst pute tere.
I pulled it out and read.
4 Fiets. Truth freeze. Underneath, in smaller letters. You're getting closer.